Hey my friends, Shamrocked here with another quick guide for you. This is Tyrannical 23 Court of Stars with Spiteful and Quaking as the affixes, and I'm going to be doing the last boss as Advisor Melandrus. So this boss, um, if you do it correctly, is pretty tame. That being said, on higher Tyrannical keys, the damage ramp is still pretty insane. You will need a cooldown for each of the damage phases. But like I said, if you do it correctly, if you have someone in the group who can bait properly, which actually may be you if you're one of the only ranged in the group, this fight is not so bad. That being said, if you do it incorrectly and you don't bait and his like shades kind of end up all around the room, you'll have a really difficult time. And so if you want a challenge, then sure, go for that. But if you want to do this nice and easy, have someone in your group who's designated to be the bait person, and they're basically going to try and lure all of the shades to end up in the exact same spot. And this helps with two things. First of all, it helps with the lines on the ground, so the purple lines that people have to dodge. That will make it so they're like kind of just all in one spot, and it makes it a lot easier for melee to dodge it. The second reason you want to group these shades up is that each of them does additional damage depending on how close you are to the shade when he does his slicing winds mechanic. I believe if you're 7 yards away from the shades, they do less damage. That being said, with each shade out, his overall ability does more damage in the entire room. So this is another fight where the damage will ramp up the longer the fight goes on. So you are on a little bit of a clock here. All right, so first Slicing Winds ability, Slicing Maelstrom, whatever it's called, you shouldn't need to use any cooldowns. It's really not a lot of damage, like a chain heal or a downpour, as well as your healing range should be totally fine. That being said, starting with the second one, things ramp up pretty quickly, so you will need to start planning for that. If you're expecting to master the elements, try to get a healing rain down, basically right before the Slicing Winds comes out. He'll always do 2 charges and then do the Slicing Maelstrom. Alright, so this one I had my healing rain down, I used my downpour, I actually used a Nature Swiftness High Tide Chain Heal there, and that was all while Cloudburst was down, I think. If not, it should have been. But as you can see, going into the third Slicing Maelstrom, I haven't used any of my big cooldowns yet. I've only used Nature Swiftness, which is fine because it's only a minute, so you can probably use it a few times throughout the fight. Alright, once again, you got 2 charges, and then he's going to run back to the middle. Very important, try to stay away from the shade so you don't take extra damage. This one I popped AG. I used 2 chain heals right away, and that's it. Thankfully, as much as it's a lot of damage, I believe it's only 4 ticks that you take, so just plan for that. If you can kind of use your brain to calculate, like as you're watching people's health go down, see who's going to live and who's going to die, and focus on healing the people who are going to die. And then you can top everyone up after because you have so much time in between these Slicing Maelstroms. Alright, so this is going to be the 4th set. See what I use. Healing Wave, Downpour. I go really low health here, but like I said, I was pretty sure there that I wasn't going to die because like I said, it's only 4 ticks and I was kind of watching how much health it was taking. So I didn't end up using any cooldowns there. If you watched my other video on Talixate Flame Wreath, this is somewhat similar in the sense that it's a little bit of a game of chicken in the sense that you want to save your cooldowns for as long as possible, but you don't want anyone to die. So, okay, 4th one or 5th one, whatever one this is. I'm pretty sure I use like a Slinker or something. Nope, just another Nature Swiftness with a High Tide Chain Heal. So that's really a go-to healing cooldown here. It works fantastic, just because you can kind of guarantee everybody's going to be a little bit stacked. Something that good groups will do as well, sometimes it's usually the tank, they'll purposely run into those tornadoes if they're in the way, and you can just dispel them, the stun off of them if they do get stunned. Alright, so as you can see, I'm putting down my healing rain early. I know the damage ability is about to come out. And yeah, chain heal, healing surge. And that time I did end up popping a summons there just to help out. I don't think I necessarily needed it, but like I said, if you're getting towards the end of the fight, don't save your cooldowns. Like, there's no reason to. If somebody dies, you're gonna want to smack yourself if you have cooldowns up and somebody dies. because, I mean, once the fight's over, it's over. You won't need any cooldowns anyways. So I believe this time I use Slink. Yep. Once again, maybe didn't have to, but, you know, why not? The fight's almost over. We're taking a lot of damage. Slink is definitely going to help here. And if we get one more, what I should do is use Healing Tide because I do have it up. I actually don't even think we're going to get to that because we're probably going to kill him first. And even if you do, it's not going to be a full duration. So yeah, basically, like I said, plan a cooldown for each and every phase. You don't have to use one. I would at least, if you're not going to be using a big cooldown, like Ascendance or Ancestral Guidance, Link, Healing Tide, have a Nature Swiftness up for that high tide chain heal if things get a little bit hairy. Yeah, and see, this time I did use Healing Tide. And there you go. Not so bad. It's one of those things, once again, where you're managing your cooldowns. You want to plan what you're going to use before each phase happens. Be preemptive with your casts. Get a Cloud Burst and a Healing Rain down before the damage happens, so that way you're not wasting cast time saying globals on it. And then yeah, just go ham. If you're the only ranged and you do end up having to bait, that's fine. Just make sure that you run to the group every time he goes to cast his AoE ability so that you get away from those shades so they do less damage, and so your AoE heals hit yourself as well. And that's it. If you get to this boss on Tyrannical, good luck, have fun. It's not so bad. And, you know, as always, don't panic. You got this.